Hi guys, it's Caito Potatoe here, and basically I just remembered something. It's a little bit of a story time, but it's also a rant. I'm kind of good at combining the two. I can always argue about something, but basically I was just thinking, I saw a horse today, okay, just horsing around, doing its horsey things, doing a little bit of a frolic here and there, eating a little bit of grass, because that's what horses do. They eat a bit of grass here and there. At where I used to live ages ago, not that ages ago, but like when I first moved to where I lived, if that makes any sense whatsoever, it used to be just like paddocks. I didn't live on a farm, but it was just so much grass that you could put a couple of horses on there, okay? And I would go on my scooter. I had a electric scooter because I hated walking, so I scooted everywhere. If I ever wanted to go to the dairy, I would scooter to the dairy for an ice block and then come all the way home, and then I would have diarrhea because, lactose intolerant life. But what I would do is that there was this horse that I would go scooter past on my way to the dairy most days, and it was skin and bone. It was so... I was literally about to call SPCA. I was about to call John Key and say, does this horse look skinny to you? It is not a tiny pony. It is a big horse, and you can see its ribs. I've just counted, and that horse has got 48 ribs. What the hell was that? What are you doing? Someone just threw something out someone from above. Are you serious? My window's open.
It's not going in your room, it's going down here where you turn close.
My mum is throwing my cat poo out the window and it's hitting on my blinds. That's disgusting. Anyways, sorry about that. So basically what happened was I would go and see this horse and I would go, shivers, you look very underfed, okay? You look very underfed, just like Mia's eyebrows. So I thought, out of the goodness of my heart, of my own little heart, my little beating heart, when I was like 9 years old, I would go over and feed it apples. Just one apple, actually, sometimes two. If I didn't eat my lunch, I would feed it a little bit of an apple, okay? And also, as I would, and this is a bit weird, but I was just that weird kid, at school, the caregiver would never mow the lawns. It would be always over mowed. That doesn't make any sense. It would be really overgrown. So I would just take a little bag, fill up that bag with grass, and I would take it to the little skinny old pony. Not even a pony, it was a horse. The little old skinny old sickly horse. Now, let me just point this out. I'm not a vet. I'm not a veterinarian. I'm actually just an eyebrow queen of the Southern Hemisphere. But, I mean, I can tell when an animal is underfed. I do understand when a horse is not eating at all. And so it had obviously eaten the entire paddock where it was living, okay? And so I went over and I fed it just, sometimes. Because, not every day, but every few days. Because I was like, I need to fatten this little boy up, because honestly, he is so skinny. Honest to God, he is so skinny. I'm going to call the SPCA on your ass if this horse is not fed. So, anyway, so there's that background. One day I felt like a Memphis meltdown, okay, a raspberry Memphis meltdown. I could do with that right now, but I'm not. But anyways, I really felt like when I was like, all right, I'm going to go and feed the horse because he will be hungry. He waits for me. We bonded. He waited for me. He just waited for me. He would hear my scooter going. He would hear that and he would come running from the hills. He would just come. And so he came galloping over to me and I would feed him and all that stuff. And then this little lady, I don't know who she thought she was. She had terrible eyebrows, but she came up to me and she goes, what do you think you're doing? I said, I'm just feeding this horse some grass. Literally just bunches of grass, like literally this much. I was like, I'm just feeding it some grass because it's a bit skinny. She goes, that's my horse. And I go, well, it's a nice horse, isn't it? It's quite nice. I don't know, what do you want me to say? It's a nice horse. And then she was like, you need to stop feeding it. And I go, what the heck are you saying to me? She goes, you can't keep feeding my horse. And I go, well, you're not feeding it, so I have to. And she goes, I beg your pardon. And so I said, well, you're not feeding it, so I'm feeding it. And she goes, you don't have the authority to feed my horse. Do I not? What? So I was like, but it's so, can't you see that it's skinny? Like, look at it. It is so skinny. And she goes, well, that's how I like it. Okay, so if you want a, like, extremely undernourished horse that's going to die next week, then keep going. I'll just stop feeding it, and when next time I drive past on my scooter and I see it dead on the ground, I'll just say that I told you so. Basically, she was just like, you need to stop feeding my horse. What are you feeding it? I said, grass. See how this entire paddock is like empty with like yellow grass? Because I don't know why it's yellow grass. We haven't had rain in a while, but he has got no food. No food. He's drinking muddy water. He's not well. He's not doing well. He's not doing the greatest, okay? She was like, well, you need to stop feeding my horse or I'm going to call the police. And I was like, oh my God, are you serious? How's that going to work? Hello, yes, there's a 8-year-old girl who is feeding my horse. Yes, my horse is being fed grass and a couple of yummy apples, some yummy apple sticker apples. Can you please do her an arrest? Really? Really? Is it because of my eyebrows that you want to call the police on me for feeding your horse? Literally me looking after your horse? I would literally go there and talk to it, okay? You wouldn't even ride it. That horse has done nothing, okay? It has done absolutely nothing. But yeah, so this little old lady, chick lady, if she watches my videos, get wrecked, because honestly, that horse, it will be dead now. It will be well gone by now, because honestly, I had to stop feeding that horse. It would have died. It would have actually died of heart failure from the amount of no food going into it. So that's basically what happened. I got told off for feeding a horse because the lady didn't want me to feed her anorexic looking horse. So what can you do about it? So I was going to call the SPCA, but I didn't know the number. I didn't really know how to use the internet. So at that time, this was about 11 years ago. But I still am shook to the core to this day. I'm very upset. But yeah, R.I.P. little horsey boy. It was nice feeding you. I've got to go now because thinking about a Memphis meltdown has given me a diarrhea, and I need to clean the cat poo that has hit my blinds because my mum just throws my cat's poo out the window because, I don't know, she's feral. I don't know. Stay groovy and keep feeding the horses.